What has happened to the Doctor Who fandom? It's like World War III. Yeah, this video is not going to be fancy in any way. I just cannot be asked to make it like a fancy video with superb editing. I don't have the time anymore. Or the motivation, to be honest. So there's probably a lot of questions going through your head. I've disappeared for almost a year. There's a couple of reasons to it. But one of the reasons why I quit making Doctor Who content and TV productions as a whole, I've completely lost interest in... No, I'll say that again. I've lost interest in Doctor Who. Not completely, because of course, what can you see in the background? Doctor Who stuff. But modern Doctor Who, I've just lost interest. I've just said, nah, I'm just going to love Doctor Who how I want to love it and appreciate it. And no one can dictate me or tell me how to love this series. Since this is 2019 now and I don't follow modern Doctor Who, people are probably thinking, oh, TJ's a fucking misogynist now. He doesn't like the 13th Doctor. Yeah, that's 2019 in a nutshell. Yeah, that was one of my reasons for not making Doctor Who content anymore. I just got a little bit fed up with the fandom. And both sides I can criticise. It's just a... I don't like swearing too much, but it's just a shit show. But it's not all bad. Because like, there's definitely good points of the fandom. There's some fantastic YouTubers still on the platform making content. Conventions going on, even though I haven't attended a Doctor Who convention in I don't know, 3 years, probably. I don't know. I completely forgot. But yeah, it's been a while. But this hasn't been like an instant thing where I've lost interest in Doctor Who. This was more of a slow burn. It mainly started kicking in 2011 with the new series. I don't know what to think about it anymore, but I'll still continue to watch it. And it went up a little bit when Peter Capaldi was playing the role as the Doctor. Again, still some issues. And then Jodie Whittaker came along, and then about 6 episodes in Series 11, I just said, I'm throwing in the towel. I've given up. Now, I've actually never made a video talking about the 13th Doctor. Never really made a video talking about the new series. When Jodie Whittaker was revealed, I'll be honest, I didn't know who the hell she was. I did a little bit of research and she was in Broadchurch. Played a minor character, I do believe. Nothing of significance. But I was like, whatever. That was my impression when she was revealed. There could have been a lot more better people for the position, in my opinion. A lot of female actresses who... One of my choices, and I believe she would have played the role perfectly, in my opinion, just by her characteristics and her as an actress. And I know she's been in Big Finish before and played the Rani and blah blah blah. I don't care. I believe Siobhan Redmond would have been perfect as the role. Just looking at her and her acting career, she just screams to me that she would have played the role really well. And if she was revealed as the 13th Doctor, I would have been very happy. I would have had 100% faith that she would just nail the role. Jodie Whittaker, I just didn't get that feeling from. When I look at her, I don't think that can be... I don't think Jodie Whittaker really screams to me to play the Doctor. And sadly, she never connected to me when I was watching Series 11. And again, like I said, it's 2019 and I'll be deemed as a woman hater and a misogynist because I didn't like Jodie Whittaker, but those are my opinions and my criticism. I just don't think she was the best choice. Personally, it would have been Siobhan Redmond for me. And that's a big problem with people nowadays. Because I'm not criticising the gender, I'm criticising an individual. And some people just don't understand that. Same thing could be said about Star Wars. Yeah, I got 6 episodes in, And then that's where I think that's the one which featured the spiders, the big giant animated spiders. Can't remember what the episode's called, but I believe I made it 6 episodes in, and then threw in the towel. It just, everything just didn't really connect with me. It felt refreshing, like the cinematography, the direction, the style. It felt refreshing, but I like to be connected to the characters, and I just had a tough time doing that. Again, performances were good, but it's just connecting. I just lost interest. Fandom really annoyed me, especially when to the time where Jodie Whittaker was revealed. Peter Davison, I stated this in my top 5 controversies video. I'm surprised it didn't get that much hate, to be honest, because it was that much of a controversial video. But anyway, yeah, Peter Davison stated on Twitter about his concerns, and he was absolutely slated on by the fans, calling him misogynist, sexist, a woman hater, death threats, and all this stupid garbage. And these are supposedly Doctor Who fans. Completely missed the point that what he said, his opinion, backed it up with his criticism. It's fine. The reason why people take it so seriously is because of, well, it's deemed that you're not a supporter of feminism. You don't like women. You don't like strong, independent women. Everyone was just rushing to conclusions and acting like such idiots over it. Just absolute emotional, oversensitive idiots. And most of them in the comments section were in fact male, arguing and talking crap to Peter Davison. There's actually nothing more cancerous than a male feminist sometimes. And I support feminism. I think it's a great movement of equality and all that. But the people who are oversensitive crybabies, though, they're just complete cancer. Just terrible human beings. They would go to the point of death threats and saying all this slanderous things to Peter Davison. He's not misogynistic, he's not sexist, and he's not a woman hater. Those are just stupid morons on Twitter. And a lot of Doctor Who channels even made videos talking about the toxicity in the fandom, and some of them being scared of actually telling their true opinions without people rushing to these stupid, emotional, oversensitive conclusions. Yeah, that was a mouthful. Because that's basically what it is. Some channels are actually afraid to speak their full truth without all this, death threats and saying that you're a misogynist, and basically people trying to expose your channel as something bad and hateful when it really isn't. It's just stating an opinion. And that is absolutely wrong. That's wrong with people nowadays. When they look at what you say, they insinuate it to be the worst thing possible. And the worst thing possible is, you're a misogynist. You are sexist. It's politics, and that's what's made things even more worse. And as I stated at the beginning of the video, I can criticize both of the sides. They do both shitty things. The people who badly defend Doctor Who with the death threats and all this crap, and then the people who are against Doctor Who. And yeah, the BBC, there's one thing that they did which really annoyed me, and it wasn't right at all. And even people on Twitter within the Doctor Who community who've been in Doctor Who, Katie Manning was the first one I witnessed who brought this up, and BBC, as I said, it really annoyed me. It was bad. It was a bad move. Yeah, the marketing for Series 11 didn't annoy me. It annoyed some people. But the thing that got on my nerves is how they put Jodie Whittaker on the most highest pedestal I have ever witnessed. But what the BBC did is basically undermine the entire history of the show. But make way. Doctor Who is now going to reach its golden years, its golden age with Jodie Whittaker. And he was completely just pushing and undermining the entire history of the show to make way for Jodie Whittaker. That is wrong. You're just putting her on a pedestal when she doesn't deserve it. You only deserve to be praised, and we see what you're made of. That's when we can judge you. You can't just put her on a pedestal from the beginning when the series hasn't even started, and by undermining the entire history of the show. Jodie Whittaker here, the history of Doctor Who here. All the other Doctors, and Katie Manning said this was very disrespectful, 100% agree. BBC, you only put Jodie Whittaker on a pedestal because she's a woman. And that to me is not a good representation of feminism at all. You're making it look like feminism cannot compete. They're always here. That's just a really contrived way of just marketing and pushing Jodie Whittaker down people's throats. That's the one thing that the BBC annoyed me. Here. That's what equality and feminism is all about. See, that was one of my biggest gripes with the BBC. Just completely, just putting her on the pedestal for the sake of it, really. Without deserving it. That's contrived. That's just forcing something down our throats. Forcing your political agenda. And that's why Doctor Who, it's always been toxic, Doctor Who, but the reason why it's so bad now is because of politics. And I must be in the minority here, but I don't give an absolute rat's ass what your political beliefs are. Liberal, conservatives, left, right, I really do not give a shit. And that's the thing, I'm not biased at all, because my political beliefs, I don't mind saying this on the channel, more go to the side of liberal, but when I see shit on that side, I'm going to criticise and talk about it because I'm not biased. I can't stand people who are biased between their own political agenda. It creates so much toxicity within the fandom. Again, I can criticise the people who are hating the Doctor Who fandom because I can guarantee most of them who spend their time just making videos. I see all this feminism videos about Doctor Who, probably the most formulaic videos on the platform. Yeah, I get it. Who really gives a crap? I guarantee some of them actually even watched the series at all. Maybe one episode or two at the very least. And that's about it. And they just hate on Doctor Who. And what I say to that is, why bother? Just enjoy Doctor Who however you like it. And don't dictate other people. Yeah, don't bother watching those formulaic feminist videos on Doctor Who. Both sides are guilty of crap within the fandom and just making it more toxic. The fandom has always been about positivity. That's what it should be about. Accepting people's opinions. Not basing it on politics. That's what made me leave, mainly. I just got a little bit sick to death with the fandom. And to the point where I lost interest within the series. It's both, really. Both of the reasons why I quit making Doctor Who videos. And I probably will to a certain extent now, since I'm making videos now. I'm kind of in the groove now a little bit. But since I got a very busy life now, it's a little bit difficult. But yeah, it's probably not the most fanciest video I've ever made with my, my catalogue of videos. The editing, there's nothing to it. It's just me talking. No overlays. I can't be bothered anymore. Yeah, that's where I stand with Doctor Who. That's what I think of Doctor Who. Now, how am I going to spend my time loving Doctor Who? This is how I love Doctor Who. Big Finish, classic Doctor Who, and the books. Modern Doctor Who now, I've just lost interest. I'm not watching it anymore. I've gone. I've left. I'm not following it anymore. And no one can dictate me or tell me that I'm not a Doctor Who fan, because I am. I'm just loving it in a way that I want to love it. That's like saying I'm not a Doctor Who fan because I don't collect figures. Or you're not a Doctor Who fan because you don't collect the books. You're not a Doctor Who fan because you don't like classic Doctor Who. You're not a Doctor Who fan if you don't like the 60s and all that bullshit. Love Doctor Who how you want to love it. Oh, actually, this is an example I've seen quite a lot. You don't love Doctor Who because your collection isn't that big. It doesn't matter. My collection's big, but that doesn't mean I'm a bigger Doctor Who fan than you. It doesn't mean that at all. Yeah. Fandom's always been pretty bad. I've had some shit on the internet. Believe me, I've come to the point where I don't care. I really don't care. And I think I'm going to leave the video. Yeah, because I think what I said at the end of this video, love Doctor Who how you should love it. Love Doctor Who in your own way and no one can criticise you over it. I think that's a good message to leave off in this video. I'm surprised it actually hasn't turned into too much of a ranty video. I was pretty calm and relaxed about it. Got a little bit swear words here and there. But you know this channel. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a more of a different video coming up in Tuesday, which is the 2nd of April. That should be when it's coming out. So thanks for watching, and of course, have a good one.